Let's welcome him with a big round of applause. Good afternoon. Please take down my photo. Thank you. Every time I was asked to submit my photo, I am reserved. What photo should I submit? But whenever I'm invited to a presentation, I want to be as honest as possible. So I submitted that photo. But do you think I'm better in person? Thank you. Before I begin my presentation, you see, if we are having such a long day. Now you have been sitting here from the very beginning today. Maybe nobody? I see. So we are covering different topics today with different speakers. The key topic is the metaverse today, but the longer we have, the more nervous I am because every other speakers have all touched upon the topics I was going to talk about. So my some of my presentations will be overlapping with other speakers, but I'll be very flexible without speaking something too technical. So just please get laid back and enjoy my presentation. Now you must be aware that she might not be on a lecturer. Actually, I'm in the broadcast industry. So from the way I speak and from my body movement, I maybe something I was a comedian myself. I used to be a comedian, so please bear that with me. When everybody says no, we shouted yes. I am Vice President Park Dong-ju of Hancom Frontis. When everybody says no, we said yes. And so in May, we launched in April this year. The Meta was launched in April. As many other speakers pointed out, some people say Metaverse is long dead, Metaverse has no chance. And I was going to talk about that, and I want to touch upon that as well. The title has three keywords: Metaverse, AI, and Metacommerce. So now, please raise your hand. I know Metaverse well, and I worked with Metaverse, but I'm not very aware of Metaverse. Half. And some of you must be watching me via YouTube. So I think some of you are familiar with Metaverse while some are not. So let me touch upon that just briefly first. Now, how can I move on? Metaverse is a fleeting phenomenon. Have you seen this photo? NFT is long gone. Now, Metaverse is drowning, and ChatGPT is happy. It's bittersweet. We launched when they were all launched, but as other speakers pointed out, ChatGPT has risen, and they say the AI will also rise. Very luckily, Metaverse hasn't drowned, and ChatGPT appears to be able to save it. We didn't expect this, but when we planned our plan, we thought that we should integrate Metaverse and AI. So the timing was very good because we said yes when everybody was saying no, and our launch was coincided with the launch of ChatGPT. So We are very hopeful, and along with that, we hope that meta-commerce will rise as well. The metaverse, people say that metaverse is dead, but I'm here to say that they are wrong. For that, I'd like to share with you this newspaper article when internet was first launched. 1 year later, people said that internet will become useless, obsolete in a year. But you know, we all know that we can't live without internet. Maybe last year in October, the company Kakao, when it had some glitch, do you remember how inconvenient it was? That's how we are, how much we are reliant upon the technology. But even before that, when internet was launched, people said that internet will be gone after 1 year. I believe that's the case with metaverse as well. When we talk about metaverse, we make an analogy of metaverse to smartphone. In the past, we made phone calls in only within the house. You may not know, some many houses don't have landline at all. But in the past, not many people had landline telephones. So it was common, not very easy to communicate with landline telephones. But one day, beeper was unveiled, which allowed us to communicate with others on the go. Do you remember beepers? Pagers? Yes, the pagers. We found out that we can stay connected with other people without phones. And then came the city phone, not a cell phone, not a public phone, but city phone was an innovation. You look happy when the city phone, and then, but before that we had Motorola cell phones, which is the size of your arm. It must have been very inconvenient, but we used the phones very much, and then cell phones, and then smartphones. Now, over this process, the metaverse is not a smartphone. To me, I think VR is somewhere between pagers and city phones, because metaverse will rise in earnest when other issues are addressed, like greenhouse gas. Before VR is popularized, I don't think metaverse will become popularized as well. I think we are in the transitional period. In the past, we would say, well, unless you know how to use computers, don't even think of getting promotion. Now, I believe metaverse, that will be the case with metaverse as well. The rate is quite large between those who use metaverse and those who don't. The ChatGPT ChatGPT is very hard these days. You can't get a promotion without unless you know ChatGPT. I believe that will the metaverse will it will be the case with metaverse as well. Our direction for metaverse is actually, as Meta is not a metaverse platform for commerce. We will create to become everyday service. What do you think of when it comes to 한글과 컴퓨터? You must associate us with office. So we will enhance the our Hancom office via metaverse. It works pretty much like Zoom, but because Zoom comes with video features, so our models will feature camera as well, sharing different information with your cell phones, and information on your cell phones.
So that was our first goal, and I think we will be able to achieve that goal by the end of the first half of this year. And then we are aiming for building the e-commerce. So I think we can be very active with our e-commerce activity very soon. And we talked about the AI today, right? So this artificial intelligence is going to be merged to our metaverse as Meta. And then we want to target SMEs so that we can activate metaverse. So we are dreaming for global marketing, but in order to do that, we have to go beyond a lot of barriers, and we can't visit every single global events all the time. So using this virtual world, we can exhibit our product for 24 hours, and we can also promote products made by SMEs. And someone has to explain those products, right? Think about our actual exhibition. There are employees or the presenters who explain the new products during the promotion event, right? And that means we need someone to do that, and that's actually NPC, because in person we can't really explain those products 24 hours a day. So we want to establish our AI algorithm on our metaverse. So I just mentioned about the metaverse, and I would like to talk about the change of the commerce as well. There is a fun story of it. So if you look at the commerce, it takes a huge portion in our daily life, and I was find something common in our activities. So think about our fifth day market. I mean, a long time ago, every 5 days there was a market opened. And then after one day, a market, it's gone for another 5 days. So during this market day, all the sellers from all around the country gathered together. And during this market opening day, we were able to get some information in other regions as well. And there was a culture embedded in this market. So look at this. There is a music going on. And also there was some entertainment shown during this market day. And then we have a delivery guy. I think this is the start point of our delivery service today. And actually, in the past, there was no good public transportation, so we were not able to move around the cities. And thanks to these sellers, we were able to get the information from other regions. And there are today's modern stores. And in case of the department stores and outlets, they have a lot of brands gathered together. So we are able to shop in these malls. And there is something interesting that we need to point out. The culture that was in the fifth day market day still exists in this mall. So actually in the outlet, in the department store today, there is also entertainment culture that can be enjoyed. And I'm sure you have seen this picture with one finger raised. So there was a promotion saying, just click one button and you're able to shop. So this was the start of the e-commerce. This is non-face-to-face commerce. And we were able to find a very interesting purchase pattern. So since you're not offline, you're supposed to depend on reviews of those products before you buy. Wasn't it your case? I mean, you look at the stars of the products and you read the reviews, and then you decide whether to buy the product. So e-commerce is not something that is done by one person. And then there is TV home shopping introduced. So what is added here? So what is added on top of e-commerce is that show host really explains the product, right? In the e-commerce, there was no seller. I mean, we look at the page, we look at the images, and I have to make my own decision. But there is TV home shopping where the host works as a seller. So actually, we get a lot of help thanks by the host before we purchase. And then there is live commerce. So everyone can be the creator on the live show and they can sell products. So you can see the commerce industry is changing. And now I'd like to deliver this story. Oh, please hold on a second. So TV home shopping and the difference between e-commerce and TV home shopping is, we as users just obtained information, but live commerce enabled two-way communication between users and host. When show host talks, we can add replies and we can add comments, and then host reads those comments and we can interact, we can communicate. It's just like we ask questions to the seller in offline stores. But what is kind of sad is that, this is one to multiple users. I mean, I hosted live shows as well. I mean, I'm the only one host there, but I see a lot of comments being posted at the same time, and I can't read one comment because it just goes beyond the screen. So I was able to respond to just several users. That's something sad. But I mean, if there's only one user access to my page, then I can communicate with the person constantly. But you can see, usually then during the live streaming shows, comments are uploaded multiple times in 1 second. So this is something that we can solve using Metaverse. So I think this is a new change that we have. So NPC is something that you know a lot. You've probably seen this in game, and thanks to ChatGPT, we have a very smart meta host, so it can respond to all the clients 24 hours a day. So specific products. So this digital host, meta host, learns the specific product, and actually we in our metaverse we have a building for each brand, and each company has the meta host. So we can deploy this meta host for one building, and whenever users access to that building, this host handles all the Q&A. So one-on-one communication is possible. I mean, in case of live commerce, it's a one-to-N. So there is limited communication between host and users. But using MetaHost, this kind of one-on-one communication is enabled, and users can easily learn about products. So I don't know whether you've heard of Merabian's communication model. If you heard of this model, please raise your hand. I guess we have one person who knows about it. We applied this metaverse, and when I found this model, I thought this was the one that I should apply. So the theory of this model is that when one person persuades its argument, what's going to be the most important factor for making influence? Actually, the contents of that speech account just 7% of the persuasion, and tone of the voice and facial expression account 38% and 55% respectively for making influence. I mean, think about my presentation preparation. I prepared a lot, but more than my contents, probably my tone of voice and visualization of my PowerPoint and my outlook and my facial expression are the most important factors for making influence to you, audience. So this model is applied to selling a product. Think about it. I mean, we had simple images in e-commerce for selling a product. I'm sure there are multiple kinds of e-commerce, but think about there is only text for selling a product. But compared to that, we have images for that product. And on top of that, think about if we have video clips that has nice voice for explaining that product. And on top of that, we have a host talking about this product. Which one would you choose for selling a product or buying a product? Probably the last one, right? The host is speaking about the product. Probably that's the high probability for buying a product. So now this is applied identically to Metaverse. So NPC. On the homepage, and we can use ChatGPT for having text of the product description. But if we have an avatar on the Metaverse, and if Metaverse can talk about the information, and when I obtain that information, it's fun. There is an interaction between that meta host and me. So it's just like our interaction between the offline sellers and me. So that's what NPC is going to do on our Metaverse platform. So using this Merabian's communication model, we want to put the NPC on our Metaverse. And on top of that, just aside from AI, then we have to think about the next level of Metaverse effect. It attracts our five senses. So far we just talked about hearing and vision, right? For making influence, and now there is smell, touch, and taste. They cannot be replaced with the Metaverse, right? But soon, with the Metaverse, these three senses are going to be possible to sense. I participated in CES, and there were a number of devices launched, and this is what I experienced. If you look at the picture, I wore this jacket, and when there is a cold wind, I can feel the cold weather, and there is a pain given to me. And when I wear that jacket, I can feel the pain on my skin. So I heard that there is a smell sensing device available. I don't know about the taste, but soon we can have a device that gives five basic senses to us. If we have those senses available on Metaverse, I believe the refund rate is going to be significantly dropped. Think about the refund rate that we witness on TV home shopping. When we watch TV, this texture, this cloth texture looks really nice, I thought. But then when I purchase it and when it is delivered to my home, I don't like the texture. Then I end up refunding the product. So then what about perfume? After reading tons of review, it's not enough to sense the smell by myself, but I think this is the role of the Metaverse in the future. And this is AR case. Through the indirect experience, actually we can display some of the products, and we can persuade buying the product. So that was the introduction of our Metaverse as Meta, developed by Hancom Frontis. So this shows that the Metaverse can be applied to everyday lives in our.
If you look at the members here, you must be wondering why does a Metaverse company has ChatGPT expert or commerce expert or ChatGPT experts? They are all part of the team of our company. Now, the term Metaverse, there's a person who wrote a book about the Metaverse. There's an Lee Ki-hoon. Now, he is the evangelist of the Metaverse. Now, taking a PhD course on Metaverse. And President Jong Jong-gi is an expert in ChatGPT. So he's studying how ChatGPT is affecting Metaverse. He's helping a lot in helping us find out how we can apply ChatGPT. We launched 심심이 last year. We wanted to embed ChatGPT on 심심이. Now it's available. Now, the popularity of 심심이 has gone down after the release of ChatGPT. But that was the original concept of 심심이, because 심심이 is just an app for light conversation. Because that was our original purpose. 심심이 was never intended to become a serious talking pal. So why don't you try 심심이 sometimes if you are not very busy? And we had a lighting gel which is creating an NPC. We had has signed an MOU with writing gel. For the first project, we are training Korean language lecturer, because we have an online subsidiary teaching Korean language. So we have partnered with this company to embed ChatGPT on our solution to export to these Southeast Asian countries, because Korean language is very popular in Southeast Asia, but it's expensive to learn Koreans there. So that's why we are launching educational Korean language course. And we also collaborate with influencers and other experts to train them and to embed them in our NPC so that users can have conversations 24/7. Because with that service, you can talk to your favorite celebrity or your respected actors on our NPC, so that you can have free conversations with them anytime. And this one, our programs for small companies, and we created the lithography of Andy Warhol's works, and we signed an agreement with that. And the exhibition will be launched next year on Andy Warhol, and the lithography will be sold right after that. Our goal is to display the works on our Metaverse, and after that we will launch limited edition of the artists in cooperation with smaller companies. So they are only available on Asmeta, the collaborative products. Not just renowned artists. There are a lot of NFT artists these days, so their works will also be on display. And AI writers, AI artists. The works from AI artists will also be sold. And I believe that this will create good synergy for small businesses, and it will be a good chance for NFT writers and AI writers. So all the idea purpose is aimed at having some promotional effects when they actually launch their products. So, talking about Andy Warhol, the limited edition of lithography by Andy Warhol. I brought a copy of that to give one copy as a gift, so I have one with me. And after this presentation, one of you will be receiving the lithograph. Thank you. Now, technology develops the way many people expect, and the development of technology changes people. We are living in the digital world, and the technology of Metaverse, we must be looking forward to the Metaverse technology developing, because the younger generations are all too familiar with ICT devices. But for older generations, we often say that you how can you buy something online? You have to buy it offline after having a close look at something. So I believe it's time for us to work harder on the experiences. And that's the goal of ASMETA. I am playing a video clip introducing ASMETA. Please watch.
스토어존입니다. 직접 옷도 이렇게
You can pick your dress. Once you buy it, then your avatar instantly takes on the cloth, change the colors, because you can order. The cover should be fun. This is office, almost done. Everything is installed. And you can reserve the rooms and have meetings. And this is a special exhibition of Andy Warhol. That's it. This is ASMETA. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed my presentation. The commerce zone is temporarily open, but we will be developing that. But that's the model that we have in mind, where you can change your dressing, because the actual clothes you wear is worn by your avatar of online as well. And we also added the fun elements so that you can get some discount. And for office, we hope to replace Zoom, because Zoom is based on 2D environment, and because you have your face exposed, and it feels like you are confined to somewhere. But once you have an avatar, the others can be assured that you are there. I believe that will also help reduce the fatigue from online conference meeting. And the metaverse that we pursue is ours. I like to compare it to a bowl which can house everything. We have about 230 words. The first goal is to create all the cities and provinces of Korea, and also the local festivals, but not on a specific day, but around the world, around the year. we hope to create a world where people can enjoy activities all year round, and on top of that, something educational, something related to travel. We value Korean language a lot. To teach Korean language, teach foreigners Korean language. We have been launched not too long, but we promise to develop our metaverse. So I'll call on your support and interest. Now that's it for my presentation. Is there any questions? Thank you. Thank you. Now it's time for Q&A. It was such an immersive. Please raise your hand to ask questions. Thank you for your presentation. I'm not asking these questions to get the lithography. When you talked about Hancom, I instantly reminded of Kim Hye. The Simshimi, the app, was the target Korean people, or did you target worldwide consumers? If you, as you said, if Simshimi is the representative PPC, then the market might not be very large, because the metaverse will be much more meaningful when the territory grows in size. Yes, that's a very good question. Yes, Simshimi was not our representative NPC. Before ChatGPT became popular, the chatbot Simshimi was a platform where everyone can come and have conversations. It's kind of the free element of our metaverse. But then came ChatGPT. It's Simshimi now, but going forward, we will be introducing AI lecturers and experts and the clock NPCs as well. So we are global. It was uploaded today, and people around the world can download as Meta.
And we're going to get additional questions from the audience. Thank you for your interest in our product. So I am willing to use Ars Meta. So just like Hancom Office, is there any maximum number for accessing the metaverse, or when you have the maximum use of hours, are you going to charge the fee to users? That's a very delicate question. Actually, I think that we have maximum 1,000 users available on the metaverse, and actually we believe that there are going to be some of the ghost members, meaning that they are inactive users. They do not have any activity on the metaverse, and we can set certain buildings, and each building can have 200 or 300 maximum numbers that can be set in advance. But inviting my friends to the metaverse is available all the time. And about the premium service, right now everything is for free on our metaverse, but using the video, the 45 minutes in the first use, that is for free, and after that you have to pay the service. Okay, thank you for the answer. I think we have one more question. I think my presentation has the most questions, but it means that I did not give the proper presentation. So you talked about using NFT and selling the pictures of the artist. Is it already done? Is it already launched? I mean, did I say selling the NFT? No. Using NFT, artist works are sold. Oh no. Andy Warhol's. That's not the actual picture. This is sold as the engraving point, and NFT is not adopted yet. It's not yet in the market. It's not yet, because of the sensitive issues regarding NFT. We are not selling it as NFT for now. Then, do you think that NFT will make contribution to selling engraving prints, or do you have any business model using NFT? Do you mean in our Ars Meta? Yes. Well, in case of artists, we have a new artist in our metaverse, right? So they are not famous already. I mean, actually they are not the professional artist yet, but I would say they are a bit of amateur level. So we started building a plan regarding NFT starting 2 years ago, and we tried to work with artists, and actually branding those artists is very difficult, and just selling and just by selling NFT, will they make revenue? Probably not. Then goods business is the most money making idea. So we need to have a collaboration between goods and artists. Then NFT artists. So then I think we will be able to have a win-win strategy between them and us. So we can have the exhibition in our metaverse, and after that exhibition, that goods can be collaborated with us for selling, and then the revenue can be created for them and for us as well. Thank you. That was a very passionate Q&A session, and let's get the last question.
I have a comment to make rather than a question. The 한글과 컴퓨터, which is Hancom, the Korean language school, I found that unique. China is promoting Confucius school, and we may feature the King Sejong for 한국 학당 to spread our Korean culture, or selling goods online. Maybe you can add that comment. Thank you for your comment. I believe that's in line with the public service. Thank you for your comment. We are planning to secure IP to add something Korean. Because we are 한글과 컴퓨터 and 한글, 아리랑, 태권도. If those three things combined, we believe that will be very powerful. And the Seongnam is hosting World Taekwondo Festival, and so we as Meta will be broadcasting the Taekwondo matches around the world, and we are launching Taekwondo costumes. Even after that, the Taekwondo enthusiasts will return, the Taekwondo players will return to their countries and remember Korea. And also we have another initiative, K-Diaspora. There are about 7.5 million Korean expatriates, and 2 million of them are young generations. So we have partnered with K-Diaspora, signed an MOU to gather together the diaspora young people to teach them Korean language, Korean culture, and give them opportunities to meet Korean friends. So as early as August, we will have a program to invite them to Korea. But before that, the diasporas are able to experience in advance and meet Korean friends. So once they come here, it will be much more touching, and if they meet their friends, online friends in Korea, I think they will like that very much. And as you told, We have signed MOU with Korea Art School and Sejong Hakdang as well. Thank you. Thank you. We have pre-selected questions. But you answered that question. So who will be getting the gift? The gift will go to. I have a quiz. Now, I will give you a quiz. What is the name of Metaverse platform of Hancom office? The answer is. Thank you. Thank you for your presentation. Please give her a warm round of applause once again.